You know what the fastest growing hardware store is in the US? Yep, it's Amazon. Yeah, brick and mortar is great. Be able to go in, get your hands on a tool is nice, but sometimes you know what you need and you just want to get it ASAP. And with Amazon, some places they even have same day delivery. You can be working on a project, pull out your cell phone, I need this, and in a couple hours it's at your door. And you may even save a buck or two. There's a lot of great choices on Amazon. They have a ton of great tools. We talk about it on the channel all the time. But there are some tools that you want to avoid, and we're going to talk about that here. So let's jump into it. First one we have to talk about is one I've been talking about for a long time, and that is chemo. If you see anything in that chemo green, I'm going to say you should probably avoid it. They have a lot of tools. Some of them, they're the best-selling tools on all of Amazon, which just goes to show that pricing and a little bit of marketing can really overcome a lot of quality issues, if you know what I mean. In fact, full disclosure, Chemo reached out to me several years back. In fact, I talked to several other people, content creators who'd worked with them, and they kind of warned me about dealing with these guys. And then when I talked to them, Chemo, the company, at least the rep that I spoke with, actually tried to get me to agree to a contract that would said that I would not say anything negative about the brand. I'm like, I can't give an honest review if that's the case. I've had lots of negative comments or people who've sent me negative comments regarding their chemo purchases. And if you notice, if you've been around the channel, we won't work with them. We won't review their tools anymore because honestly, I found them to be substandard tools and the company just doesn't stand behind them. There's too many issues going on, even if it's a decent price. If you're looking at a ratchet, this is a nice ratchet, $75. You got everything in a nice little case. It's 20% off. Here's what I'm saying. Instead of going with chemo, I'm going to recommend that you take a look at another brand that's been on Amazon for years and years at this point. That's Avid Power. Now, I have no relationship with them. I've never been sponsored by them. They've never sent me tools, but I can tell you this. They just constantly keep, doing what they do, which is provide inexpensive alternatives to some of the big name brand tools. Here's a 3/8 cordless ratchet. It's not the most powerful thing. It's not going to beat a Milwaukee or something like that. But it's $60. You get 2 batteries, the charger, the case, a bunch of bits and stuff with it, or sockets, I should say. And you know what? This is a company that has, decent customer service. So I would recommend going with them over Chemo. Now, the next one I'm going to say to avoid, believe it or not, is DeWalt. Now, not all DeWalt. Now, I've said that I'm not a huge fan of DeWalt's brushless tools. I feel that they're overpriced and underperformed. They have 3 tiers of tools, though. They have the brushed, then they have brushless, and then they have the XR, which are brushless, high power. It's equivalent to Milwaukee's Fuel. It's the high-end professional stuff. It's just the brushed tools, but specifically this drill. I have it out for this drill because it's a piece of junk. Now, when it came out, 120 years ago, kid, when it came out, it wasn't bad for a beginner level drill. But it's been out for, oh my gosh, we've been doing this channel it's going to be 10 years this year. And it's been out since then, and there's been lots of upgrades. And look at the price on this thing. You're looking at $99. Now, I did a review on this a long time ago, and I commented at the time that I think that if I did pay attention as I was tightening up the chuck, I could snap the chuck right off in my hands. And a neighbor of mine the next day did just that. And every time I see this tool for sale, I cringe. At $100, $100, that's a professional grade tool price for $100. In fact, you can get, let me zoom in on it. This is their brushed version. This is the mid-tier coming with a 2 amp hour battery. Now, granted, you get 2 batteries with this, but they're the 1.3. They're super anemic batteries. It's a super anemic charger. The bag's all right, but it's $100 for less money, not much less, but it is technically less money. You can get the 20 volt mid-tier brushless drill with a real 2 amp hour battery, charger, and bag. This is a far better deal if you're looking to get into black and yellow. All right, let's keep going. Black & Decker, literally anything in orange and black you just want to avoid. It's a dying brand. Now this kit here, look at this, it's $99. Would you rather have a real brushless drill for $98 or get this and a bunch of other miscellaneous tools that honestly are pretty terrible? All right, the hammers is going to break. I've seen those hammers before. They just don't last. Everything in this kit, and I honestly ask anybody, they'll tell you I have a thing against kits because they just seem to throw the cheapest things they can. It's like when you pre-order, you had fruits and vegetables from the grocery store, and they pick them out for you, and you get the ones on the bottom of the bin that are all like bruised and nasty and stuff. They're going to send you the cheapest stuff. Same with these kits. And Black & Decker, as I said, it's a dying brand. All right. You have DeWalt's their top tier brand, and it used to be Porter Cable, but they sold them off. They still have them, but they're only available through online, and I wouldn't buy them online, or through Tractor Supply. And honestly, I'd avoid them there too. They've got the Craftsman line in now, which is just barely a step under DeWalt, and then the poor Black & Decker. It used to be the big name. It's just young. If you want to buy a good Black & Decker tool, I would recommend this one. It's the Black & Decker microwave, 0.9 cubic feet, good just basic menus, good popcorn reheater, that kind of stuff. It is a decent microwave, honestly, for $110. My sources say it's made by Midea, as are like 90% of the microwaves out there. And at that price, it's a pretty decent microwave. All right, let's talk about Skil. Skil's another one of those names that's been around for almost as long as Black & Decker. They're now owned by Shervon. They're great tools. But this is their brushed line. And honestly, again, I'm going to say underpower, overpriced. I love their 20-volt brushless line, but you know what is maybe a better choice than this? Because really, it looks like a bunch of stuff, but you're getting a flashlight in there. You're really only getting 3 tools, two batteries, and a charger for $179. For $149, you can get 3 tools, 2 batteries, the flashlight, the charger, and a speaker. And what you're getting here is you're getting the drill driver, you're getting the impact, you're getting the multi-tool, great all-around tools. And here's the deal. These are 12-volt compact tools that are all brushless. These are going to be actually more powerful than the brushed tools from the same manufacturer. 5-year warranty on these. They're fantastic. Ask anybody who's part of this channel. They'll tell you if they've gone into the Skil 12-volt brushless line, they're thrilled with it. It is a great line of tools. I have several of them myself. They did send me one ratchet at one point, maybe something on a light at some point, but I bought all the rest of them myself. In fact, I bought into the line before they even reached out to me. I recommend the 12-volt line all the time. There's been some great deals over at Lowe's. If you're going to go to Lowe's, go check in there because they've been blowing out some of them over there. But if you just want to go online for $149, 3 tools, flashlight, 2 batteries, speaker, and the kit, that's a great deal right there. All right, next up is Milwaukee. Now, Milwaukee is a great tool, some of the best tools you can buy. But look at this. Ships from Amazon, sold by Tool Master Outfitters, whoever they are. So here's the deal. Amazon, I should say, is not an authorized reseller of Milwaukee. Even if the company that's listed is an authorized reseller, no one is authorized to sell through the channel of Amazon. So no matter who it is, it's not authorized, which means Milwaukee does not have to honor your warranty. Now, we'll say this. Milwaukee's been really good in the past about honoring warranties just based off the serial number. But they've been cranking it down lately, saying, no, we want to see that receipt. We want to see where you bought it from. So there is a chance that you could be told, sorry, you're out of luck. Now, if you want to be an adult and be like, hey, this is a really good price, I want to buy the tool, you're probably going to be okay. All right? But that's going to be on you. You have to make your choice. Now, I know some people are going to come up in the comments and go, but they're clone tools. They're not clone tools. If you want to see clone tools, you're buying them through eBay. That's where you're going to see that kind of stuff. Usually this stuff is what's called gray market. It's factory returns, refurbish, the blemish stuff that gets sold usually through their own. They have a brick and mortar and an online called Direct Tools. It's owned by TTI, the parent company of Milwaukee, Rigid, Ryobi, and Hart. But you don't see the Milwaukee stuff much online, but you'll see it in the stores. There's not many of them. And what happens is people will go in the stores, they'll buy all these discounts, and they'll mark them up by 20, 30% and sell them through Amazon as their own reseller. Just be aware of that, okay? Next up, we're going to talk about anything with a bizarre name you've never heard of. This case, we're talking about Baiho. Baiho? I don't know. There's so many of these. They fly by night. They get, they're not even the manufacturer. They just go and they find some manufacturer. They get their name slapped on it. And they sell through a whole bunch of them super cheap, and then they're gone. They pop up, and you know, a month or two later, you can't find them. There's no warranty. You don't know the quality you're getting. I strongly avoid something like that. Now, if you just want to pick up a one-off tool here and there, I'm going to give you a couple brands to look at. First one is Dongcheng, and the third one is, yes, it's the DCK. And the reality is they're both made by the same parent company. And this company actually in Asia is considered one of the professional level tools. These are not bad tools. They're really actually pretty decent, especially for the price. You're looking at a brushless drill here for $70.59. You're getting 2 batteries, charger, the bag, some bits. And on the DCK, we're looking at $65 for a 4 amp hour battery, bits, charger, and a bag. I've had, or I don't think I've had it. I've used them. I talked to them at the trade shows a whole bunch. And they show, and this is what's really disappointing, they show a huge line of tools at the tool show. And this is where I'm going to say there's a caveat in this. Because they're cordless tools, you expect like, hey, if I buy into this, it's a decent price, I can use it with other tools. Now, with Dongcheng, there are, actually, let me go over here. With Dongcheng, there's a few more tools, but most of them are corded tools. They do have a blower that's uses 2 of the batteries. They have a chainsaw that uses 2 of the batteries. They have a few tools. They have an impact and some other stuff. With DCK, unfortunately, if you look at it, most of the stuff, you click on it and it's going to say currently unavailable. Look at, there's not even a click here for the hammer drill. Let's see, the 12 volts around. The impact is currently unavailable. This is corded, and that's about it. Unfortunately, everything else is going to be either corded or it's not going to be available other than the drill and maybe one other tool. Now, I will say this, the corded tools aren't bad either. I don't mind, if you're looking for a bargain, they're definitely a good bargain. But just understand, if you do go this route, you're going to be very, very limited in where else you can use those batteries, all right? Now, we talked about them. This is going to talk about, we're going to talk about some hand tools, tool sets. As I said before, I'm not a fan of these tool sets. Deco Pro, I've used their stuff. I bought it on my own, and boy, was I disappointed. Oh my gosh, the stuff wouldn't stay in the case. A lot of the tools, they didn't fit the sizes they said they were for. I had a real issue with sockets falling off every ratchet, and I tried them on their ratchets, on my ratchets, on high end. I even have a snap-on ratchet I tried it out cheap. Nothing, the sockets would just fall off. It was ridiculous. Everything I've seen from them has been super cheap, and that's what you're going to get with these combos. Now, here's what I'm going to say. They often like to use this name. You see Deco Pro, then we see Fast Pro. Again, cheap tools, not a fan of them. And the reason they're using that Pro name is because of a company called Work Pro. Now, Work Pro, full disclosure, it's a company we worked with in the past. I'm a big fan of their utility knives and some of the other stuff. But if you're looking for a discount tool set or some discount tools, WorkPro is a decent company to work with. They're owned by Great Star, which is one of the largest tool manufacturers in the world. They make decent tools. They stand behind those tools. They have good customer support and people based in the U.S. who you can work with. They're ships from, sold by Amazon. If you have an issue, you can always take it back to Amazon, even if WorkPro for some reason wouldn't stand behind it, and I've never heard of them having an issue with that. Highly recommend WorkPro, but beware of these sound-alikes and the other toolkits. They're just not really worth the money, no matter how cheap they are. All right, then next up, we're going to talk about Vevor. I've talked about Vevor a ton. Now, Vevor is not the products aren't terrible. Granted, Vevor doesn't make anything. Vevor is like the old school Craftsman. They work with a manufacturer, they slap their name on it. It's called OEMing or white boxing. They slap their name on it and they resell it, which means the tools and the products can actually be quite decent. However, if you have a problem, they have a terrible issue of just basically stalling. Now, if you buy from their website, you're pretty much screwed. They're going to basically tell you you're out of luck or something like that. If you buy from Amazon and you have to deal with them, they're going to try to do the same thing until you say, well, fine, I'll just contact Amazon, at which point they'll be like, wait, we'll send you the money, yada, yada. Or you can just shortcut this and go straight to Amazon. So just be aware. And the other thing, though, is like a socket set like this. If you break one of those sockets, everybody else has a lifetime warranty. Good luck getting Vevor to replace that socket. Now, what I'm going to say is, as far as an alternative, I would look at Nico. Now, Nico's another company. They sent us some stuff years and years ago. Haven't really talked to them lately. But that said, they have a great reputation. They sell some great quality tools. I got to tell you, this impact set, I have this impact set. It's one of the best ones out there for the money, $161 for essentially a master set of deeps and shallows, all 6-point. You do get the ratchet. I'm not a big fan of the ratchet, but everything else in this set is great. It's a decent case, and for the money, it's a pretty nice setup there. And then the last one I'm going to say is Amazon Basics. I'm sorry. I've had terrible luck with Amazon Basics. Maybe you've done better, okay? Maybe there's some stuff out there you're like, you know what, the Amazon Basics stuff is great. We've bought tons of stuff for Amazon Basics, stuff for ourselves, stuff for businesses that I've run. Never been happy with anything from Amazon Basics. I say just skip it. Anyway, there you go. That's what the good, the bad, and the ugly, you should say, over at Amazon. It's still a great place to grab some tools. I definitely would recommend checking out our channel, our video, Deals of the Week we put out every Monday. We carry show a lot of Amazon stuff on there. Tons of great big name kind of tools. We talked about the higher end DeWalt stuff. We talked about Bosch 12 volt, Skills Saw, lots of great power tools, as well as some of the fantastic hand tools. A lot of made in Europe stuff, Weha, Wera, PB Swiss, then we're talking made in the US, Estwing, and others. We always try to find Channel Lock. That's another great made in the USA tool. Always trying to find the best deals. And if you follow that, you subscribe, you can put together a pretty top-notch set for discount kind of pricing. Anyway, kind of shameless blurb there, shameless plug there. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.